Welcome to another episode of the Block Builders USA podcast with your host Cam Campbell, and I'm going to let my builders introduce themselves and also give us a motivational word.
This is LB, LaRonda Brown, and my motivational words for today is keep the faith.
This is Bro G, and my motivational word for today is don't complain, just maintain.
Okay, I'm going to go. Ooh, I know. All right, my turn. My word of the day will be don't play, just pray. And with that being said, my verse comes from Leviticus 20, verse 23. And you shall not walk in the statutes of the nation which I am casting out before you, for they commit all these things and therefore adore them. And with that being said, the title of this podcast episode is called The Fear of Commitment. And I want to give a personal example, which I think that means. The fear of commitment.
I'll say the fear of making an obligation or something.
To me, the fear of commitment basically means you're really kind of scared to be dedicated to something.
Okay.
Always.
Okay. My definition is the feeling inside that comes when you are unsure while you're in the process. And I feel like a fear of commitment can come from many places, like a relationship, a new job, a new home, new opportunities, everything. Like, for example, like for a job, I had a fear in commitment when I opened up my business. My fear was not being able to work on a business during a pandemic and balance college and personal issues all at once because I did not know where I was going. I did not know who to talk to about it. I just was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. But my fear came from trying to maintain it all. Like I didn't know if I want to put my 100% in school or doing it to work or my brand new business or what, because I feel like the fear of anything can definitely paralyze you, especially commitment. Like I feel like, especially like even if you're in a relationship, a lot of people like their relationships don't last only because they're afraid of being committed. Like they're afraid of, well, the moment I feel like things are going right, I'm gone. Just like in a marriage, that's why I feel like people get divorced more than they get married. Like there are really like more people in the world that, will end like their marriage will end up in a divorce instead of someone, passing. And I say that because not everybody, I feel like we live in a world where things, the moment they don't seem clear will be the moment that everybody abort the mission. So what y'all think on that?
Yeah.
It sounds pretty logical because, like you say, it's easy, especially in what all we've witnessed in the last year. Like you say, you took on a lot of responsibility during the pandemic. But a lot of businesses grew during the pandemic because think about more online shopping. More people had a chance to sit down, focus on their business, advertise more, reach out more. And like you say, not knowing who to talk to, it was really a time to research and see what avenues you needed to take, what areas you needed to, dwell in to become more faithful rather than operating in fear. But as far as what you said with new jobs, it's pretty much everybody become stagnant when it come down to switching over or moving on, and when it come down to jobs, because they looked at it, so many people were without work.
Still some to this day.
Still some. So it wasn't so much as being afraid of commitment. I think it was pretty much the fact that, am I committing to something that's going to last? Because some people can wholeheartedly say, I'll commit, or I can say I'll do that. And if it's a 3-month job and you already 3 months behind on your bills, it's kind of up and down. And I just rather stay in my situation.
Right.
But you got to look at the opportunity. Just like this one came along gotta pick you up right where you are. Like he pick you up with this one, you 3 months behind, you got 3 months work ahead, boom, he'll grab you up again. You know, so, and I feel like what you said, I didn't know if I wanted to give 100% here, 100% there, 100%. I feel like anything we do, we should give 100%.
Correct.
Yes, it's stretching us, but that's also where we pretty much find balance when it come down to things that we want in life. You know, so even during a pandemic, I feel as if a lot of businesses did grow.
I just feel like with the fear of commitment, a lot of people fear commitment because commitment come with responsibility. And it's not so much the commitment that they run away from, but it's the responsibility of whatever they committing to. Because you already have a commitment and a responsibility to maintain yourself on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
And that's hard enough. That's hard enough. So anything external that you make a commitment to, like you say, a new job or relationship, or new house, which is a mortgage, and it's just the responsibility of all those things. It's like, I think a lot of people would feel like if I don't have to commit to that responsibility, I'm not going to commit to it.
Right. Like, I can give another one, like, wait, actually, no, I'm going to stick on the jobs for a good bit. So just imagine working, you know, you're being offered a new job at a Fortune 500, and they telling you that your salary is going to be $60,000 a year. And, you know, and that's pretty much like that's your base pay. So you starting into the job, let's say the job is working at Google, you know, that's a Fortune 500. And all you're doing for that job is literally just sitting there, pretty much just allowing yourself to market for Google. And your first month during a pandemic, everything's get shut down. But now you can work from home, you know, especially like, you know, during the pandemic, you can work from home. Now, the commitment problem would be that moment where that bed get a little bit too comfortable for you, and you have to get out of bed to work. So you have to become committed to the point of, okay, in order for me to still, you know, pay my bills, live, you know, maintain my lifestyle, I have to continue to work, and first I have to get out of bed.
Operate like I'm going to the job.
Exactly.
Right.
Now, even if your office is literally, you know, your bedroom, and all you have to do is just get out your bed and, you know, get ready for your day and just sit at your computer all day, you have to maintain that commitment of, okay, even though I don't have to physically get out of my house and move, and actually drive to my location and into my cubicle is now my home, so I have to commit to that. Now, I feel as if that would be hard, especially if, you know, I feel like your home is your safe haven, and once you actually have to once you switch from being in a cubicle to actually being at the house, you kind of feel, you know, like stagnant in a way, because you'll be more committed to your bed, to your job.
There's only so much effort you have to put into going to the computer.
Exactly.
Opposed to getting up, getting dressed, driving
Right.
to a building to
Right.
perform your duties.
Right.
It's just more comfort.
Yes. And, you know, because, you know, you driving, you know, wherever to the location is and working for the 8 hours will be different from you actually sitting down, being committed at the house. Because, you know, you can sit down in your underwear, you know, and just relax and work, but yeah.
Pretty much.
And, you know, you have your conference calls and everything, but you'll be at the house. So I feel like that would be like a self-discipline thing before you can actually commit to that.
Yeah, that's discipline.
Right.
That's discipline.
And I feel like not everybody can do that, but what would be a way that you can allow yourself to
I feel as
commit
if it's
to it?
basically a mind thing, because one of the things that you said is the way that I'm gonna continue to pay my bills and continue to make it is you have to have discipline.
Right.
You have to be disciplined enough, because you have to think about the the franchises that have closed down, and those people can't work at all.
Right.
Opposed to you being able to work from home, you know, is really still a blessing that you can, and you're not around anybody. You're not being at risk, and you gotta get that discipline. You gotta be disciplined enough to get up, brush your teeth, wash your face, and be ready, because we know top of the morning can be rough, even if you're working from home.
Yes.
I mean, I know a lot of people do, like, you know, call centers and stuff, and they work from their house. But people have it on their mind early in the morning because they didn't have to wait all night to get somebody on the line. And I looked at my insurance rate, and it's up there. Oh yeah, I'm waiting to talk. And that's not your problem. You just work for the company.
Right.
So if you have sleep and you sluggish, that really can go bad for the both of y'all.
And then
so
just,
discipline is so important in staying committed.
Yeah, just imagine like the whole, like having a conference, you know, everybody else, you know, had their like their look, you know, their nice suit on, and you just sitting there with a white t-shirt on, you know, with stains all on your shirt. That's not a good look, you know.
Right, you gotta have that discipline.
Yeah, you gotta have that discipline, and like.
So I don't think that would be a fear. I think that would be motivation.
Oh yeah.
Motivation
Especially
to commit.
if they paying you good. Oh yeah, and like I feel like a fear of commitment within a relationship was just simply be trust. Like I feel as if you start a relationship, well, before you start a relationship, you should build the friendship with somebody, and then, you know, join into their relationship, and within that you should build trust, and, you know, allow yourself to know if are you gonna put in your 50 and I'm gonna put in my 50. Like you both have to know, you know, the commitment between the two in a relationship. And I feel as if with being committed in a relationship with someone, and it doesn't even have to be like an actual, like a boyfriend, girlfriend. It could be, you know, with your mom, your dad, your brother, cousin, whoever. Like, I feel like that relationship is very important because you have to find out exactly what is the goal between you two. Like why are you still here? Yeah, I have anything on that.
Well, I think with your family, they gonna be there. I think your family can't just vanish and disappear like that.
It's some, you know, it's some they them long lost, you know, they long lost for a reason. You know,
but as far as relationship goes, I feel as if the fear of commitment is some people lack trust. You know, it's hard to trust because I feel as if it's hard to move on from they past or they past process, you know, because whatever to get you to that point, you went through a process.
Correct.
And it damaged you more on the other side, then you can look up to the opportunity of being committed to someone that can meet you. When you said 50-50, I don't ever call a relationship 50-50. I call it 100-100. Like you got to bring 100% to the table because I'm a female of hustle. Like I work hard. So opposed to you having your own and you comfortable with where you're at, if I'm trying to move forward, there's only so much effort you're going to put into helping me because you're comfortable with where you're at. So I feel as if it takes 100%.
On both ends.
On both ends. And like you say, that relationship is so important because we know friends fall out all the time.
Yeah.
So if we friends and we can fall out and we can bounce back, I feel as if we know what it takes to resolve our issues and move forward. If it's worth resolving, you know. And some things, when you elevate from a friendship to a relationship, it lets you know if you and that person really compatible. Because we can be friends and hang out and chill and do that and move around and get into it, fall out and fall back in, and I'm gonna make sure you made it home safe and you're gonna tell me thank you, and we good. Once we sleep on it, we good the next morning. But that's totally different when you going to my house, I'm going to your house, and you still feeling some type of way because you were man enough or woman enough to express yourself. And it just lingers on, you know. So I feel as if it's totally different when it comes down to family ships and relationships.
I like that family ships.
Yeah. I think it comes down to commitment in relationships. Like you said, with trust being the main thing. And the only problem is that trust is it's like glass. It's just like once it break, then you could put it back together. You could
It ain't gonna be
rebuild
the
it, but
same.
it ain't gonna ever be the same. And it don't transfer from every relationship. Like you don't get a new set of trust for every relationship you get into. They like to tell you that. They like to say, "Oh well, this person ain't like this person," or you can't treat every person like that. And I don't think anybody intentionally says, "Well, I'm gonna treat every person like that person." I'm pretty sure got a small percentage of people that do,
Right.
but I'm pretty sure the majority of people don't. But it's just the fact that you don't get a new set of trust. So you going in there with this trust that's already broken up.
That's on 35%.
That's on 35%. And when you go when you thinking about a commitment, in order to make a commitment, you have to balance the commitment part, the responsibility versus the reward. So the responsibility has to equal out to the reward.
Right.
So if you going, but the only way that you can even think that you're gonna get a reward is if you have trust. If you trust that it's gonna work out. So if you don't even have the right amount of trust, then it's gonna be impossible to commit because nothing's gonna seem reward enough. Nothing's gonna seem worth nothing's gonna seem worth
That's
the
deep.
responsibility of the relationship. Cause what am I doing this for? What am I putting all this in for when the reward may not even come? There's a possibility that it may not even come. I don't even trust that it may come. So being that I don't trust that the reward may come, I don't trust, it's not that I don't trust you, it's just that I don't trust the situation. That's why so many people stay together and don't get in relationship. Don't put no title on it. Because once you put the title on it, that puts the responsibility to it. Because if we not in a relationship, like you was just saying, sis, if we just friends, guess what? You get to tripping, I can leave. Go home, sleep on it. I ain't got to talk to you for a couple of days.
No type of responsibility.
But as soon as we put that commitment into it, oh no, ain't no just leave. Ain't no just. It's a
Gotta
different
resolve
type of,
it.
It's a different way it got to be handled.
Right.
And for a lot of people that's going into it with broken up trust, they saying, well, why am I gonna go through that when it's a possibility that
It
the
might not
the
happen.
reward of the happily ever after may not even come. So why deal with your foolishness? You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's what with the commitment in relationships. I believe, like you say, that trust, man. Shout out my bro Stroh, man. That trust, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. But I feel like the word commitment itself is very, very strong because in this day of time, not many people are committed to the right things. I'm gonna say that. Like I know everybody has their own personal commitments into such their own. I feel as if people have their own specific things that they're into, but like with commitment, do you think that people get afraid because Bro Greg just said? Do you think they have problems with it because they're afraid, or do you think they don't really know what they're going into?
I think it's pretty much not knowing what they're going into, because one thing that I say and I teach my children all the time: know what you're dealing with, because everybody wasn't raised on love. Some people was raised on survival. They'll look at the opportunity like, oh yeah, he has a nice house, he drive a nice car, they looking for you to level them up.
Right.
They're not looking to meet you where you're at or to level up to your level and y'all grow together. They look at it as a come up to deal with somebody that's financially stable or,
They have
have a decent career or this and that. Everybody wasn't raised on love.
Right.
Because somebody that's genuinely raised on love, you can have $2 million and you flash. That's not exciting to them.
Right.
But you're going to find somebody that they going to commit to you. They going to wash your socks. They going to do this. They going to cooking 5 times a day, this and that, because you got something that they want.
Right.
You got to be it got to be further than what you can see. That's why I feel as if you got to take that time, like you say, and talking to somebody. They don't put a title on it. Well, if you talking to me, guess what? I'm talking to you. That's it. That's what we doing. We talking. Because too many people are misled. They don't know where they at, what they doing. And if that's all you offer me is a conversation, I mean, we can text. We ain't even got to do that, you know? But I'm a person of clarity. So you going to have to make it, you going to have to draw it out and make it plain to me. Because I'm not going to assume anything. Because we know what assuming do. So it's one of them things where I just feel as if everybody got to know exactly what they want. Because it's only so much that a person is willing to give you. And like bro say, if I can't trust you with my thoughts, I sure ain't finna trust you in my ride. I ain't finna trust you in my house. Why I'ma leave you here? No, you go ahead and get your stuff before me. Come on.
And that goes
if I
from
say I'm
teens
finna
to
go,
family.
your shoes ain't even got no business being off. They
Right.
should already be on your feet. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
For real.
Because if I don't trust you like that, you probably ain't gonna be in my house no way though.
You won't even know why I stay.
Right. Period, you know. But if I feel that way
Real
about you, I
talk.
probably won't even deal with you, you know. Because like we say, discernment is so important, especially in the world we live in today. You know, and I'm not gonna run all the way into my topic. So I'm gonna just let you go ahead.
Oh, no.
Get ready to wrap us up.
I'm gonna say it like this, man. And you ain't never heard it said like this, because this is the first time I done said it. The first time it been said, man. You got 10% of people that's committed, man. They committed and faithful to whatever commitment they committed to. And then you got 50% of people that just ain't gonna commit. They ain't making no commitments. And that leave 40% of people that they committed, but they're not dedicated, man.
Wait a minute, you can't just drop the mic off there. You gotta.
No, you gotta break that down for
Yeah,
those
you gotta
that don't
go to the
understand
last
that.
one. Yeah,
you
you
messed them
gotta-
up with the percentages already.
Oh,
Let
man.
me break that down. They committed, but they not dedicated. Meaning, in the example, you got people out there that'll know that they just got their income tax.
Right.
They finna go to the car lot, get them something new, and not no Chevy. I'm talking foreign.
Something they can't spell.
They finna get something foreign, and they know
With their income tax,
with the income tax,
Oh, Lord.
It's
and
a
they
down
know,
payment,
and
remember?
they know in a few months
it's gonna be back on that
that
line.
thing going back.
Ripple.
So, do they have a commitment to the dealership that they got it from? They signed the paperwork. They financed it. That's a commitment.
Yeah.
But are they dedicated to that commitment?
Nope.
Exactly. I don't care if it go back. It's gonna go back when it go back. And that's how. That's how.
Well, it ain't gonna be a few because they gonna run for 6.
Oh yeah.
And that's how a lot of people doing it with jobs, with relationships. That same situation. Yeah, I go to work, but I don't care if they fire me tomorrow. That's how a lot of people feeling like I'm here, but I don't care if I get fired because I don't like this job.
Yes, they
you know
do.
what
Why
I'm
you
saying?
in the first place?
Every person that you done ever went to, like with fast food, that they had a bad attitude at the window. Ain't you thought that? Why
Right.
why you here at the first
Why
place?
you
Why
here?
you here in the
Right.
first place? I'm telling you, relationships.
so serious,
So many
so
people in the
real.
relationships, they got the title. Ain't that a commitment?
Correct.
But is they dedicated to the relationship? Is they all outside the relationship and entanglements and things of this nature? Look at the generation we living in, man. It's a lot of commitment, but very little dedication.
This man done took over.
And the problem is people are allowing the titles to stand
without the work.
without the dedication behind it.
Right.
So if somebody can get in the position, yeah, they're gonna get in the position and play their role. They're gonna act.
Play their role.
They're gonna play their role, and like sis say, they're gonna do whatever. But they're not doing it for you. They're not doing it for you. They doing
it for them.
They doing it for them.
For their benefit.
They doing it for their benefit. And
To learn
they go
the
back to what
rule
we
book.
used to say. They're not loyal to you. They loyal to their need of you.
That's it.
And see, they not committed to you. They committed to their need of you. So once that go, dedication gone. Well, I mean, once the dedication already gone. So once the commitment gone, the whole relationship gone.
It's like they'll be there, do their part, and then the moment everything go left, they gone.
That's what we living in this generation is because there's no dedication to anything. So yes, you can
Everybody
have
want it,
you
but
can
don't
you
wanna
can
work.
have the commitment and have the title, but being that there's no dedication, there's no work because the work, the responsibility only comes in the dedication. Because if you're not dedicated to something, you're not gonna put in no work for it. So without no work being put in, without no dedication being put in, the only thing left is the commitment. But the commitment without work is just like a business. If you don't never do no work for the business, eventually the door is gonna close.
Bankruptcy.
It's gonna fail.
Right.
That's what we seeing. That's what we
And
seeing.
that's what we see
Every
more
single day.
of.
But the problem is it's becoming accepted. Nobody's saying, no, let's stop this.
The
Everybody
lazy
just
work.
saying, this is how it is now. We not gonna change it. We just gonna adapt to it. And now we gonna roll with it.
Pretty much just like going to school, you know, and the teacher, you know, trying to teach a lesson, and then there's that one kid, you know, they want to be a class clown. You know, she's not gonna really try to do her, you know, she's pretty much not gonna try to get into teacher's mode. She pretty much gonna get into, you know, Jennifer mode and just be like, you know what, whatever, and then go back to her work instead of actually taking our time and actually trying to discipline the child or actually put any type of dedication into the problem. So like she's just gonna be there just trying to get her check and bounce without actually, you know, putting in her work.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel as if it goes both ways because the student should be committed to learning and trying to get her education and bounce as well.
Yeah.
You can look at it like this in a situation where I'm trying to think of an analogy. Give me a second to think of. I'm gonna think of an analogy.
Okay.
Go ahead, bro.
So I feel as if with commitment, you know, there is that dedication that you have to have because you can't expect a car to go if you don't have the keys. Like you can't expect it to go far if you don't have gas. Like if your car is, you know, a quarter tank, you know, to E.
You know how far
And-
you can go with that.
Well, yeah. I mean, most cars nowadays, you know, tell you, hey, you have 23 more miles, and you know the gas station isn't into, you know, mile 25. Well, what you gonna do? So you have to realize that you have to be committed into putting gas before
You get in a crisis.
exactly. Like I feel as if while you in whatever process that you're currently going through, you need to understand that in order for you to become successful, you must be committed to your work. Like you can't just straight up say, okay, well, I want to become a millionaire, and I'm going to do that by simply buying stock, you know, just for example. And you do that for at least 3 months and see no results at all. You have to continue to become committed into the game and learn the craft while you're going through the process. You can't just simply say, okay, well, I hope this work and not work.
Yeah.
Like you can't just say, I want it to work and not work. Like you have to become committed to it. You have to, like, you know, just like with losing weight, you have to exercise daily. You know, you can't just be like well, if I don't see anything in the next 2 or 3 months, then I'm done. You have to continue to become committed into the situation.
Yeah, and that actually dovetail back into the analogy that I was gonna use as far as the commitment and people being more accepting of it.
Right.
It's like you said, it'll be somebody and they'll make a commitment to themselves that they gonna lose weight or whatever, and then they start off doing good.
Talking about me,
and
bro?
then when they stop, when they stop doing good, when they level off, instead of the people around them or society, saying that keep going, continue, they say society says you perfect just like that.
Yep.
Or for example, it have a little guy, and he have a little guy or a girl, and they have a bad experience with another group of kids, and it's just this one particular group, And instead of letting them know, talking to them and telling them, hey, you know, you just had a bad experience with this particular group, but not every group is like that. You just let them know, don't trust nobody. Just look at it, look at everybody like this.
That's what.
Right.
That's exactly what the streets teach you too.
That's what's starting to go on now. It's no education going towards in the positive direction. It's just kind of like, okay, the world's going to hell in a handbasket. Okay, we realize that we're not gonna try to fix it. We just gonna get ready to go. We know that we in hell.
Happen,
We know that we in
Accept it.
hell. We just gonna start living like we in hell.
Right.
So it's just
Not caring.
it's a lot of not caring and a lot of things that say our grandparents would have never accepted. Would have looked at us and would have been like, how y'all even living and functioning like this?
Well, they wouldn't have did nothing but looked at us. We knew what it meant.
Yeah,
Ooh, that look.
Yeah, they would come back. Like, you could think of how many older people would come back and look at this with the things that's going on now and be like, what in the world? Like, and that's in every aspect. Everything is pretty much upside down, and that go back into it, like commitment, the trust. Like, with the world being so upside down, what can you really trust? Why a lot of people walking around like, why put my whole 100% into something when I could be gone tomorrow? Like, think about the mindset of a young black man that's living in Chicago. Like, why put a whole 100% into something when I could just literally walk around the street and get killed because I walked on the wrong street and it's the next street over to me? Like, why not just put everything into this moment?
You know, you see a whole lot of that in movies too. Like that whole, like, why would I work if, potentially like this could happen? Like, for the movie Boys in the Hood, the Morris Chestnut's character Trey, good kid, good grades. He passed the SAT football scholarship, and he gets killed. With kids just playing, and I feel as if showing that to someone who had the same opportunity as him, they gonna feel as if, they gonna feel as if, wow, they gonna feel as if the things that I could have gone to will not work, because look at this, maybe there might be a kid out there in Chicago, A1 on the court, good grades and everything, but he feel as if, what's the point of trying? I am committed to working, but I don't want to die.
Yeah, but movies like that, them John Singleton movies like that, they used to have messages. They had what's called social commentary. It wasn't necessarily telling you do this or do that, but it was showing you an experience of a group of what could be your peers, and it was allowing you to make the judgment, because like, different people could watch that movie and get different messages all throughout the movie. But look at that. Look at those movies, how they used to be back then, and look at shows now like Snowfall, like Power, like Superfly. Like, it's no longer that they're now starting to get away from. There are people that do these type of things and that move in this type of environment, and they are around us, but don't be like that. So now they starting to shine the spotlight on it, and you can be ghosts. You know what I'm saying? You a drug dealer / businessman, and you hustle, but you still a good guy. Now they're starting to move the younger black men, especially towards that. Like, it's okay to be in the street. You need that. You need that edge.
Kind of like Lucius with Empire. Like, he was a gangster, quote unquote gangster, but at the same time he was a rapper, and he had ambition. Kind of like, and I feel as if, Greg, what you're saying, and if I'm wrong, please correct me. I feel as if what you're saying is, do not be committed to the wrong things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is they showing it to the youngsters, and they not knowing what they should be influenced. They not knowing the difference between the things that they should be influenced by and the things that they should be inspired by. they're being influenced by things, because you can be inspired by something, and like, okay, you might hear a song and it's a gangster rap song and you're not a gangster, and it inspires you to go rap, and you might not write gangster rap. That might just been the song that inspired you to start rapping. So now you inspired to rap. But then it has influences, something that will influence you, that will make you go try to act out what's being portrayed to you through that particular medium.
So you can put that in your lyrics.
So you start to, what they call, glorify, start to pedestalize that. You start to put that person on a higher platform. Like, for example, in Louisiana, Boosie, it's like he never once told any kid, go out here and do any of this. He simply told what he did, how he grew up, in his story, and the so many kids and youngsters were just influenced by just hearing it, because they wanted to. It sound fun, it sound good. And that's what's getting the youngsters now, is they being influenced by a lot of things that feel good and sound good to them, because a lot of things can feel good to you, but they're not good for you.
We know that.
And see, that's when you need tough love to back you back from that. That's when the discipline come in. But there's not a lot of parental figures out there that's giving that, that discipline and that tough love, because they want the same things that the kids want.
Correct.
The whole household listening to Young Boy.
Bobbing their head, bouncing off the wall.
Everybody in the household turning up.
The kids dedicated to listen to it, and the parents committed to.
Look, the thing. He 21 and got these 30-something-year-olds
40
influenced,
thinking that this is the route.
Yeah. And because being influenced ain't got nothing to do with no age or nothing like that. Like, you can go back and you could listen to the old Tupac interviews, and he'll say, I got these older guys that's in jail that's mailing me, asking me like what I want to do. Like, you can influence somebody, and it don't matter if you younger than them, older than them. They be influenced and they be ready. And I think that's another problem with the commitment, is the 10% that are committing, they committing to the wrong thing, and the 40% that's committing but not dedicated, they committing to the wrong thing too. They just not dedicated to it. That's how you see them getting.
50% won't even think about
committing.
committing.
That's how you see them get in there, and they be a gangster until they go to court. They be a gangster until they go to court. That's that committed but not dedicated.
Well, we definitely gonna have to work on that.
This is how we do it though, through messages like this.
Exactly. Like, I feel as if being committed is something that you have to realize that me being committed to the guns is not the same thing as me being committed to God. Like, you have to know that even if your situation is not the best right now, learn to commit to the right things. Because the moment that you surround yourself around the right people, everything will go right. And with that being said, this concludes another episode of the Block Builders USA podcast. We'll see y'all when you see y'all. Peace.